Alright guys, review time again. This week I'm going to talk about Hanger, which I said I was going to do. Yeah, I think it was today or yesterday that I posted that video. I can't remember. I've had a very long weekend. But Ryan Nicholson's Hanger, it comes out on the 17th. You can see there, 11/17. Um, Hanger, if you like Ryan Nicholson, then you probably already have this pre-ordered. But if not, he's been talking about this ever since he did Gutter Balls, and I love Gutter Balls. It's one of my favorite films of 2008. Um, but what the thing with Hanger is it starts out and Debbie Rochon plays in it as this prostitute who's pregnant, and the John that got her pregnant. He's the guy who played the janitor in Gutter Balls. He gives them money. He gives her money to help pay her rent with her pimp Leroy, who is Leroy is the he was the black dude from Gutter Balls, and it's he leaves and he says he's gonna come back someday, but the money's not enough, and she keeps dragging her feet with paying Leroy, and eventually he gets fed up and he says no one wants to fuck fat bitches, so he pulls the infant out with a coat hanger in a very intense and graphic scene. It this is gonna sound really weird, but I don't even care. Um, it's the best looking fake vagina I've ever seen. Ryan Nicholson is one of the best special effects artists of all time. I honestly thought that I was seeing Debbie Rochon's crotch. But anyway, after that, he throws him in a dumpster, and this old hobo finds him, and it's like 18 years later. On his 18th birthday, the John comes back, and they agree to get revenge on Leroy because he explains what happened to his mom. But they give Hanger a job at a recycling facility, and it's headed by the girl who played Lisa in Gutter Balls. I can't think of her name. But he befriends this kind of Down syndrome guy. The thing's it's just full of deformed people that work there. It's really interesting. Um, and there's this one really asshole guy that plays a huge part in it later. And then what happens is the John gets caught by Leroy, and he's being tortured and stuff. I don't want to say much about that, but the John catches Leroy. I mean Leroy catches the John. Um, and then he kind of leaves Hanger on his own for a little while, and Hanger gets in some trouble of his own, and then there's this sort of kind of like trying to get revenge thing in the last 30 minutes or so of the movie. Um, and in all honesty, it's not at all what I thought it was going to be. It's a lot more goofy. Um, it feels like a Van Beber film. It really does. And it has the lighting that reminds me of the film Red Velvet, which I don't know, I'm pretty sure I reviewed it here, but if I didn't, I know for a fact I reviewed it over at my site. But the lighting really reminds me of that. It's lots of, in Gutter Balls it was a lot of blue and red, and I think maybe even some green. In this it's a lot of like bright pinks and green and stuff, and blue and stuff like that. But there's one shot with like some hot pink in it. The film has ridiculous amounts of nudity. It has more nudity than Gutter Balls, which really is amazing because Gutter Balls had a shitload of nudity. It has a better script, I think, because there's not as much cussing. There's a lot more verbal humor as well. There's a lot of gags, and it's entirely gross out stuff. Like this one dude, he collects tampons and boils them into tea, and it's absolutely disgusting. And then there's a torture scene where they take Hanger's dad, and I don't want to tell you what happens, but the effects are insane on that scene, and it involves a blowtorch. And that's not what you think. But all in all, I really, really liked the movie, but it wasn't what I thought it was, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It's a lot more of a comedy than I thought, and in all honesty, I really wanted to see lots and lots and lots of revenge, and Hanger doesn't kill hardly anyone in this movie. He kills like 3 people, I think. Maybe 4, but I know for a fact that he kills 3. And in all honesty, some of the people that he kills don't even deserve it. The people that like should die are killed by the John, and that's not really a spoiler alert at all, because whenever you get about halfway into the movie, you realize that okay, Hanger's there. The John's the one doing all the he's the badass. He's the Charles Bronson of this, and Hanger's just sort of kind of like the Robin of the Batman. It's that I didn't like, because I honestly was I was wanting to see Hanger just destroying these guys and stuff, and that wasn't in it. But what we do get it's always fun to be surprised. What we do get is a very nasty, John Watersy type film that has lots and lots of gross out humor with spectacular effects. I already said it, but Ryan Nicholson's effects are fantastic. There's a curb stomping scene in this that makes the curb stomp in Halloween 2 that everyone was talking about being so graphic. It makes that look like shit. It's fantastic. He literally crushes the guy's head flat. There's a part where they slam a horse head in a car door and it just crushes her skull into like bones and shit coming out of her skull. The effects are fantastic. So if you have the taste for that kind of weird stuff, and if you like Ryan Nicholson's films, especially if you like Ryan Nicholson's short film Torched, it really reminds me a lot of Torched without the humor. Well, it reminds me of Torched with humor because Torched was actually really serious. Then, I mean, if you're a Ryan Nicholson fan, you already have this pre-ordered. But if you're gonna get it, I recommend that you get the German edition if you can, because it's a lot nicer packaging and stuff. It comes with like postcards and crap. But if you don't have a Region 2 player or Region 0 or Region 3 or whatever, then you can't watch it. So you have to wait until November 17th, which is almost 2 days from now, this Tuesday, and pick it up. I recommend it. I think it was really fun. Like I said, it wasn't what I thought. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I did really enjoy I enjoyed it for what it was. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10. No, it would have to be an 8 because the effects are insane. Because latex is a very tricky material to work with. Anyone that has latex mask or has done anything in film will know that. Because if you don't do it right, it gets craters and blisters in it. And the way that they do the effects in this, the prosthetics are so pimply and cratery and stuff that it actually is convincing. It doesn't look goofy. The material in it actually is really fantastic, and you can just tell. And for most amateur films, like whenever I watch a Brian Pollan film, I'm expecting crappy gore. There's nothing bad against Brian Pollan. I like his films. He's one of my favorite independent directors. But whenever I watch Brian Pollan's film versus Fred Vogel's film, I'm expecting two different types of gore, and I want two different types of gore. And with Ryan Nicholson, you're getting pretty much a combination of both those. You're getting very, very, very nice looking effects, but they're so over the top that it's highly, highly entertaining. So, I mean, even if you're just a special effects fan, you're going to love this movie. But there's some pretty nasty bits in it, so if you like that kind of stuff, check it out. I mean, like I said, it just don't go into it expecting it to be a pure revenge film, because it's really not. But just go into it expecting a gross out comedy, and you'll have a blast.